Making his way to the ring from Toronto, Canada, weighing in at 227 pounds, Christian.
One must wonder what's going through Christian's mind. I mean, is Captain Charisma really okay with what transpired just 1 week ago? We're going to find out tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we can predict what Christian's thinking about, but we're going to see what he's thinking when the bell rings. That's for sure.
And his partner from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 245 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton and Christian will face each other at Over the Limit, but tonight, they're tag team partners.
You know, I don't see how Randy Orton can trust Christian or how Christian can trust Randy Orton. I think this match is going to be real interesting.
Making his way to the ring from Silsbee, Texas, weighing in at 418 pounds, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
This is the new Mark Henry. The world's strongest man has changed everything about himself. It's all about him now.
Absolutely. For Mark Henry, this is a phenomenal opportunity to establish himself as a top contender for the coveted World Heavyweight Championship.
And his partner from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at 272 pounds, Sheamus.
Sheamus, the former two-time WWE champion, brings a focused attitude to this match and just might be the palest man in the world.
That may just be a pigment of your imagination, Cole. But we're going to see if Sheamus and Mark Henry can gel as a tag team and not let personal goals get in the way.
tag team competition is not something that can be learned overnight. And that is a statement that pertains to both of these teams.
Yeah, Neil Cole, I've been part of many successful tag teams, and you have to be able to know what your partner is actually thinking and doing at all times.
Well, like us out here, King. Yeah. At least for the team of Orton and Christian, they've been part of successful tandems. For Sheamus and Mark Henry, they've primarily been singles competitors.
And he goes for the neck breaker. This type of performance is why Christian is such a decorated WWE superstar.
The world title, held by some of the greatest figures in this business, was won by Christian at Extreme Rules. Then captured by Randy Orton 5 days later on SmackDown, and will be up for grabs in 2 weeks at Over the Limit.
Man, it seemed like the World Championship was experiencing a case of hot potato. But Randy Orton seems determined to restore stability.
He leaps into the air for a flying forearm, and this is going to spill outside the ring.
Sheamus sneaks out of that one.
And I'm sure that was just pure instinct on Sheamus's part. Look out what's going on here.
Backdrop, but that was a nasty landing. The quick kick. Oh.
Finds the way out.
The point of a tag team is to work together for the same success. Will Mark Henry and Sheamus work together for success, or will individual agendas get in the way? This could implode at any time.
Yeah, think of what being the superstar that pinned Randy Orton in this match could do for that man's career.
Mark Henry and Sheamus certainly making for an interesting tag team combination.
It will be interesting, Cole, especially since Sheamus and Mark Henry are more known as singles competitors. Well, it looks like Christian's been caught off guard here.
He might be distracted and still suffering from his world title loss, but Captain Charisma needs to regroup. This is not the way any team wants to start a match.
I have to say, I'm a bit surprised at how this match has started off. Christian's normally effective against opponents of all shapes and sizes. Oh boy, Sheamus is dazed here.
Sheamus on the receiving end to start. Oh, what a wild move by Christian.
This reversal there.
Mark Henry and Sheamus are not exactly what you describe as a natural fit for a tag team.
No, I remember Mark Henry competing in tag matches during his days as a member of the Nation of Domination. But both of these guys focused on single careers.
And Mark Henry's tag team bouts with the Nation of Domination was in the Attitude Era. He's primarily been in singles action ever since.
Well, and Sheamus is not the type that I'd describe as plays well with others either.
Captain Charisma needs to break free from this onslaught and make a tag to his partner.
You're right, Cole. If Christian can't find a way to regroup and tag Randy Orton, his opponents are going to take this thing to a whole other level.
Christian's dangerously close to reaching the point where the match can't be turned around because it'll be over.
And he's heading back inside the ring.
Now with complete control. Hey, Christian gets out of trouble, and quickly. And he might have to do this by himself. His partner doesn't have much left. Man, this is a unique set of circumstances. In this tag match, Randy Orton is looking at 3 top contenders to his world title, one of which is his tag team partner.
King, it is a unique set of circumstances. You have to wonder if Randy Orton has been looking over his shoulder since he woke up today.
Well, for the Viper to be in a tag match with essentially his top 3 contenders, I think Orton won't feel safe until this night is over, and he's holding the World Heavyweight Championship on his charter bus.
Randy Orton's going to be looking across the ring at his opponent, Sheamus and Mark Henry, and checking for the whereabouts of his partner, Christian. Once Sheamus gets on this roll, King, he's so tough to stop, but he's not been able to get out of the blocks at all in this match.
Sheamus might be wondering what hit him, and how many times.
The Celtic Warrior's been looking to make a name for himself on SmackDown. He needs to show some signs of life here before it's too late.
Hey, this is a bit of a surprise. Mark Henry's already weakened. I wonder how long this will last.
The world's strongest man is on his heels, but it's going to take a lot more than that to keep him down.
Yeah, Mark Henry's not off to his usual dominant start. I don't know if this is really hurting the world's strongest man or just making him mad. Can Randy Orton really trust Christian in this tag match? You know, we've seen unlikely pairs, but these two have become bitter rivals.
I don't think the Viper completely trusts anyone, but we'll see if the mutual respect he and Christian seem to have for one another is enough to keep them together as a team.
Another shot with a boot. And he hits the drop kick. What impact. rolled the dice. And did it pay off or what?
Randy Orton is getting...
Well, that's it. Whoa, Cole, this is surreal. Sheamus is just getting manhandled.
The Celtic Warrior's in serious trouble. He's just been beaten down, and I don't think that was expected.
Yeah, you can tell by looking at Sheamus that this has been a brutal battle. Uh-oh.
Trying to put him away.
That's it. He's done.
Mark Henry can take just as good of a beating as he can give, but he's on the short end of this thing.
Yeah, it looks like these attacks are starting to affect the world's strongest man. I don't know if we're going to see a Hall of Pain induction in this one or not.
King, Mark Henry's starting to show real fatigue. He's always a world's strongest slam-away from victory, but he needs the strength to perform that move.
A textbook reversal. Can he follow up?